Mother's Day. A wonderful opportunity to show your mother how much you love her, you appreciate her, how much you're grateful for everything she's done. It happens once a year. And during the build up to Mother's Day, there's an increase in the amount of flowers, cakes that are being sold in shops. Many people buy these gifts, these material gifts to buy so they can gift them to their mothers and show them they love them. But pause. Does buying a material and giving that to your mother really show you love her? I don't think so at all. Anybody can buy a material and give it to anyone. Everyone has money these days, right? Whether you're rich or you're poor, you can buy a cake. A cake costs roughly, I don't know, £5. You can give that to anybody and say that you love them, you like them. You can say thank you. But it takes, I would say, courage and real love to actually go out of your way and do something that someone will appreciate. Not just going to the shop and buying something quickly just so you can give it to someone the next morning and say, oh yeah, thank you for this and that. This is, I think, a big problem with Mother's Day, Father's Day too. It happens once a year, and the massive problem is that it's so commercialized. So commercialized. The only reason now the only reason why it's celebrated now is so that these massive companies that create these cards, like the Card Factory, these massive companies like any company really, florists, even supermarkets, so they can make big profits on the flowers they sell, the cakes, the foods. I went into a shop yesterday. I did buy something for my mother, just some flowers. And I saw flowers, cakes, flowers sold out, cakes. Then I saw like meals, and it was saying Mother's Day meal, like a lamb shank or also a piece of beef. These shops are using all these excuses so that you buy their product. And you could say, yeah, it's a great marketing strategy. But if you look at it from another perspective, they're just doing that so you buy more of their products. You don't actually need that. You don't need to buy that cake. And the amount of people I saw buying the cakes, I was astounded. People just waiting to buy their cakes. And I was really thinking to myself, are those people really doing it because they love their mother, or because it's commercialized? It's expected that you buy something for your mother and tell them and buy something for them, give them a card. Because that is what is expected these days, isn't it? No one really tells you, oh yeah, tell your mother you love her, tell her thank you for what you've done, appreciate her more, help her out more. Because if you really appreciated your mother, you would go out of your way every so often and tell her, thank you so much for this, thank you for this meal you created me, thank you for raising me up. And that's why I think Mother's Day is somewhat evil, because not in the terms that, oh yeah, you're showing love to your mother, not at all, but in the terms with the perspective of how commercialized it is. I was looking at all these flowers being sold, and every flower had this plastic film around it. All these flowers were sold out, and imagine, where does this plastic film end up? It's very thin, it's a single-use plastic. Gonna end up in landfill, polluting our environment. Every single food packaging, you could say this about every food, not just Mother's Day specific food. It's wrapped in plastic, some sort of plastic is used. This packaging to individually separate, so just so the comfort is there for you to carry it, so it looks nice. And everywhere it says Mother's Day, buy your mother this, buy your mother that. Don't buy your mother anything, bro. Maybe try this. It's too late, of course, to this year. Maybe if you celebrate Mother's Day later in the year, and you live in a different country to the UK, but try not to buy something for your mother. Try to do something for your mother. Your mother would appreciate that much more. And you would actually be doing your mother a benefit too, because this is also not just for Mother's Day, this is for any sort of gifts. Instead of buying chocolates for your mother, for anyone, do something for them. If you're playing an instrument, learn a piece that person, that close person likes, so they can enjoy you playing that piece. Maybe make a meal for them, homemade, whole foods. Don't buy them chocolates. This is why I think it's quite silly why people buy chocolates so often throughout the year for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. Chocolate. Like, you might say, oh yeah, chocolate, it's healthy, it's tasty. It's healthier to not eat chocolate. So much healthier to not eat chocolate. And if you're collecting all these boxes of chocolates, you're literally forcing it to your close friend, your family member. That's not benefiting their health. And like, yes, I guess dark chocolate is rather healthy, but I know you don't. I know so many people go to the extent where they're buying so much crap, so much chocolate, and then there's so much waste. And that's not actually showing true love, because if you actually felt true love for someone, you would do something out of your own will to help that person grow. Therefore, buying chocolate for your close friend, family member is not helping them grow. It's just going to increase the rate at which their health deteriorates, increase the rate at which they get cavities in their teeth, increase the rate at which they consume dopamine. So therefore, I encourage you to give to people something that is less of a material. If you can, no materials, because not only does this save materials, there's less pollution, but it is much more valuable. If you can play an instrument for your close friend, instead of giving them a card that is materials, but also less engaging, go up to that person and actually look at them straight in their eyes and tell them with a deep love that you are grateful for what they've done for you. Because I'm telling you that the amount of, I was going to say pleasure, but pleasure sort of sounds bad because like we're on self-improvement. The amount of joy, let's say joy, the amount of joy you get from telling someone, oh, I'm grateful for you. I'm truly, deeply grateful for you. The amount of joy you get from that and the other person receives is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Tell them, not just I'm grateful, but if you can say, I'm grateful for everything you've done to me, and specify that will further boost the amount of joy each of you receive, and that will further strengthen the relationship between you and that person. That's just me saying, this video is just me saying, all these days are just so commercialized. Do something of true value. Do something meaningful. It doesn't have to include a material. It would be better if it wouldn't. And accept, adapt, and overcome.